every human being should have the chance to love their soil. How can you deprive a human being of that love in their life? Because it's who we are. I just find it hard to imagine being alive and not having the joy of working with the soil. It does work. You know, you can feed yourself and have a surplus to share just with zero input on your farm, you know, with no plastic. You know, none of the stuff that creates wars. For me, wealth, money is poverty. You know, this is wealth. Yes. I think the peasants, they always pretended life was hard because they didn't want anybody to know. But it's generally the footwear of the peasant. I don't think a hunter-gatherer would wear clogs because you wouldn't outrun a hare, would you, in a clog? And what's the human being's habitat? We've also lost our habitat because this, for me, is my habitat and I feel good in it.
Tucked away in rural France, surrounded by giant industrial farms, there is a beacon of light. Samuel and his family farm in the old way, grow in abundance with no outside input, deeply and spiritually connected to the land like humans should be. This is the story of the last real farmer of Europe.
So this is the vegetable garden.
Wow. That is a lot of quinoa. I didn't expect to see that grown in France.
Yeah, well, the second year, last year I grew one row and what you sow in seed is just nothing, you know, it's a fraction of the crop.
Do you sow directly?
Yeah.
Everything?
I do now.
Wow, that's impressive.
I've got an anti-plastic.
Yeah.
The thing about indirect sowing is just, I used to do it. You know, I used to have a polytunnel. I used to, this is like the fourth reincarnation of my vegetable garden. Since I started when I was like 11 or something. And you know, I used to, you know, I had a polytunnel. I did my plants in pots, and I put my potting compost. And the thing is, after like 10 years, I think my polytunnel broke in the snow. And you look, and it's like a sad wreckage, isn't it? And I just saw plastic. I saw plastic, you know, broken plastic pots, plastic string for the tomatoes, plastic for the polytunnel, plastic for the peat bags. Yeah. And it was just a pile of junk, and all the crops I'd grown was forgotten about. Yeah. And I just thought, you know, if I continue like this, my legacy is going to be a huge pile of junk, and no one's going to be thinking, wow, great, you grew some lettuce. And I think the biggest problem with direct sowing is slugs. Yes. When I talk to people, they say, I tried it, and the slugs got them. And if I do modules, the plant's bigger. I just sort of think it's true, but it's almost, to take the analogy, it's like we're at war, you know. We've become at war with the land, with the soil. It's like we're an unwelcome conqueror on the soil, and the soil doesn't want us. You know, the soil and all its inhabitants, the slugs and the snails, it doesn't want us. And so we put something out there, and the slugs say, no, we don't want you, you know, you should be better dead. And that's the message that they're telling us. And so we have to sort of live in this fortified camp, which is like this greenhouse, where we prepare all our sorts of armaments to go and sort of dominate the soil. I think when you can actually, rake your ground and plant some seeds, and you've got the balance in your garden, so it's just not massacred. You know, all these other creatures, they aren't your enemies, but, you know, they might eat the weak ones, but, you know, not the strong ones.
Yeah, they may take some of the sacrificial ones.
Then it's basically, you're not a sort of an unwanted overlord, are you, of your land? You're one of the creatures. So.
And you use minimal plastic, which is such a sad thing about growing food, and the modern way of growing food. It's so plastic heavy. Like you say, all the bags of compost that you buy, it doesn't fit into the natural cycle of growing. So why is it so prominent?
It's not sustainable. That's what stresses me about it. If I'm doing a vegetable garden, it's because it's to help me feel less insecure. Yes. And when I'm using something that I can't produce, and my problem is that I don't believe in the sustainability of their supply chains. You know, it's like I can't believe that, in plastic as a permanent crop, and even I hope it's not going to be a permanent feature. But I don't want to be, so I feel stressed out if I'm dependent on it.
Yes.
Same with my seeds. I used to buy all my seeds. And it's like I've got to make my own seed or I'll swap them with neighbours, because otherwise it's all very fine. But the day that all the lorries stop on the road, I'm in the same boat as everyone else.
So is that something that you are thinking about or worried about, that the world just stands still and then the lorries stop coming and you can't get hold of the seed? Is that why you do this?
It's definitely one of the factors.
Really?
Is that I don't like, I don't like the current, the current world. I think that it's society. I think it's, I don't think it's beautiful. I think that's as an artist, I'm not really bothered about the crops. It just has to be beautiful.
Yeah.
And if I just get too into the crop and I think I'm going to put on a net or something, I'm sad inside because it's not beautiful anymore. And the food can't recompense. Beauty may be relative, but what machines do isn't beautiful.
No.
I'm somebody that loves the woggly edge. I love trying to get the straightest edge I possibly can, but I know it'll never be completely straight, and that's what I love.
Straight, is it? How connected to the modern world? How do you know that you don't feel good in this world right now if you're here all the time, gardening, growing your food, being self-sufficient? Because this is paradise, this is your sanctuary, this is heaven to you, and to me being here as well. But how are you still in touch with it?
Yeah, but you can't escape it, can you? Because we're a big family. For me, it's like, it's all very well doing this, but I think we're a big family. If one person's unhappy in the world, we're all unhappy. If one person's starving, it's like we're all starving. It's so interconnected that we're one family, so you can't just say, I've got my garden. And on top of that, you've got the water, which is something that's shared, plus the rain, which is massively shared, air quality, which is shared, and ecosystem. I think my deer problem was partially because I've got, 6 acres and it's just huge fields around, so the deer had nothing to eat apart from here. So I had a disproportionate problem. So you can't just say, it's basically one person by themselves is too small. This is why I think you have to always have the idea that you've got to have a wider project,
Yeah, that's beautifully put. I think actually when you get that grounding of being in the garden, I've certainly found this, is that you are able then to look outward and think about the world and its problems, and you start feeling it more because this lifestyle, growing food, being connected, actually does open up your mind to.
And what can I do?
Stuff.
You're thinking, well, what can I do if somebody's starving? Practically, what can I do? Do you get in a plane and fly out there? Well, that's got problems. Do you give some money to a charity? That's got problems too. And do you just do nothing because you can't, and just eat burgers? That's got problems.
Yeah.
And so what? But to me, it is if somebody's starving in the plant, if somebody doesn't have somebody starving, that is a problem. And if I'm not doing something about it, I'm not going to feel right about my life. I can't just sit there and eat. When there's it's like if you're on the same on a table, you couldn't sit there and eat while there was somebody starving next to you. And that's the way I feel like when they, I feel like they're suffering. Things aren't right, At the moment, my idea is that, I'm creating a garden and it's infinitesimal. But I can see I'm already getting a surplus and I've got something to share. And I haven't got enough to share with 7 billion, but I've got something to share with 1 or 2 people. And that is something rather than nothing, And who knows? I can see the obviously, I've just really comforted myself knowing that it does work. You can feed yourself and have a surplus to share, just with 0 input on your farm. With no plastic. None of the stuff that creates wars. It's the thing, isn't it? Your little piece of haven is thanks, to the wars in the world. I brought you the raw materials, and it's like that doesn't make me feel good.
No.
I mean, I think as a gardener, you just think about philosophy
Yes.
all the time.
I've noticed that. I mean, I've come from the modern world and lived in cities all my life, and now I'm growing. I'm now thinking outwards more than I ever done before, and I didn't expect that sowing seeds would spur that.
This is my secret for having a good vegetable garden. I don't grow anything. That doesn't work for me.
I should start doing that. You got more quinoa running down there?
Yeah, the thing is, I've got a competition with my neighbour. And when I saw her garden, I gave her some seed. And when I visited her garden, she'd planted as much as I had.
Wow.
And I thought, that's just,
You can't do that.
I can't do that. So I came back and I planted myself 3 more rows.
So where is your neighbour?
2 to 5 minutes away. The
And
thing
is she
is,
the most similar? Because you're surrounded by industrial farms, really. aren't you?
yeah, I've got a couple of neighbours, both 5 minutes away, who are very, very good gardeners, and they kind of radicalised me. I was like the little sort of kid growing with my polytunnel and everything. I thought I was like self-sufficient with my sort of patch of cabbages, and I saw their stuff, and it's like, I realised that it was just trophy veg I was growing for the summer.
Yes,
And they were
that's a bit like
actually,
me.
they were actually growing stuff for the whole winter as well, and next spring. And I saw cereals, they were growing, you know, they're growing cereals, and I just thought, this is, you know, I've just got to do this, you know, I just got to do this, and I started beavering away at 18, you know, and then
brilliant.
by the time I got to be 30, I'm up there, you know, they come around and say, you've got a pretty good garden, Samuel, you know, but I'm one of the club now.
And do you do all this on your own?
With my dad, but the vegetable, yeah.
How many hours a day would you say it is? Is it hard work on this scale?
This is pure joy, yes.
It is, isn't it?
This, you know,
I was hoping you'd say that.
the thing is, the tragedy is I don't have, you know, you just want to spend all your time here. You could just spend all your time just pulling up a weed.
Yeah.
People talk about habitat loss of insects, you know, losing the world's insects and birds' habitat loss. And what's the human being's habitat? We've also lost our habitat, because this for me is my habitat, and I feel good in it. So no, in the spring, yeah, I need to get up at 7, and you know, an hour every day keeps you.
That's good.
Keeps you. But now,
not huge.
I haven't been in it for days. You know,
yeah.
it's in autumn. It's just harvest. It's no time at all.
Yeah.
Once it's in place, you know, I've got no space for weeds. But that's sad, you see, because I want to be in it.
No, I know.
When people say, you know, how much time does it take? Well, actually, and I wish it took more time because, you know, this is a beautiful.
I mean, there's always a weed to pull, isn't there?
There's always a weed to pull, exactly, and you could get it. But
You could do that. You could keep it pristine.
I know, but that's the joy that it's not.
No.
Because then when the apple tree falls on it, you haven't put all your eggs in one basket, you know. So I'm trying to actually force myself not to have it as a completely sort of micromanaged space.
I notice you're all things natural, and I've just noticed your shoes. Well, it's hard not to notice them, to be honest with you. They're a bit unique in this modern world. These are clogs. Are they comfortable?
It's like shoes. It takes a while to get a comfortable pair and to get used to them as well. And also, the thing is, I've got padding inside.
Wow. Is that a bit of grass?
It's actually a bit. It's a bit of coarse flax.
What?
But sometimes it's straw. Sometimes sometimes I've got a bit of fern in there.
I'm sure you'll have all kinds of wildlife living in there as well, I'm sure.
I know, but it comes out all the time, so I keep replacing it. But it's they are the traditional footwear of the peasant. I mean, in Britain,
this area.
Of this area, but in most, I think in Britain they used to wear clogs. They've got
Really?
different styles of clogs.
Maybe in Wales they used to wear clogs.
I'm sure that the Welsh wore clogs. They've got lots of different styles of clogs, but it's generally the footwear of the peasant. I don't think a hunter-gatherer would wear clogs, because you wouldn't outrun a hare, would you, in a clog?
No. Did you ever just go barefoot?
I do go barefoot, but I have to say, it's always, because I do a lot of sizing and hoeing and stuff. If I'm in the veggie garden, and I'm just in the vegetable garden, I like to be barefoot normally.
Yes.
But in a day, I tend to be sizing and stuff. And
they're almost bulletproof. You're not going to hurt your toes in there.
Exactly. I'm always end up putting the clogs on. Once I've got the clogs on,
you can do a little tap dance almost, can't you? Wow.
Well, exactly. I mean, traditional Breton dancing, they all did it in clogs as well. So you can do dancing in the clogs.
How long have you been wearing clogs for?
Well, I've had a pair for a while, but I never, it takes a bit of determination to get the hang of it. But it was a few years ago when I had a hole in my Wellington boot, and it was just the impetus.
Wow.
But in the winter, they've got real advantages. In the winter, I get chilblains, and in a Wellington boot, your feet don't breathe, particularly when you go and have a outdoor campfire and everything.
Yes.
And the clog, they keep really warm. Your feet keep really,
Wow,
really
that's
warm.
so surprising.
And in the summer, they'll breathe as well.
Wow.
So even though it looks a bit clumpy for the summer,
Yeah.
they're actually quite a good footwear.
I like it because if they just ended up on your compost heap, they're not gonna
Exactly.
spoil it. You know, like
Exactly.
most modern shoes, like the ones I've got on with the rubber soles, and also you're connected to the earth
think-
constantly in those.
I think if I can never find a good pair of, if I found a good pair of leather shoes, I think I'd be quite tempted.
No,
but-
I think this is very you. What about when you walk around the high streets here? I guess you don't go to town too
No,
often.
I push on a proper pair of
Oh,
shoes.
you do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, this is for the, I
This is
wouldn't
for
want
the
to
garden.
drive. I wouldn't want to drive in these.
No, true. Yes.
But
You'd be pressing the brake and the accelerator at the same time, wouldn't you?
you would a bit. They're not made for clog driving. They're for car driving.
It looks like you're guarding something special off with these
Yeah, the book-
amazing fences.
Deer love buckwheat.
Oh, really?
They love buckwheat and beans and
Not
veg.
a bit of plastic in sight. Not
Yeah.
a bit of rope. Wow. Wow. Oh my word! I've actually never seen buckwheat growing, and we use a ton of it at home. My girlfriend loves making cakes with buckwheat.
It doesn't. The funny thing is, you eat it like a cereal, but it's not. It's not a grass. You know,
No.
all the wheat, rye, barley, oats are all grasses, and buckwheat. It's part of the rhubarb family. That's
It's so impressive to see so much buckwheat. I mean,
and the bees are mad about
what
it.
are you using the buckwheat for?
It's pancakes.
Pancakes, nice.
The thing
You eat
is,
a lot of buckwheat pancakes then.
in Brittany, the traditional food
And the galette.
is galette or crepe, either whatever what you call it. But
Yes.
in Brittany, it's crampoise, and it was, one of the main staples of the peasants was buckwheat crepes.
So this is amazing. You've got so many little fields all together.
I'm the biggest. I boast I'm one of the biggest farmers around.
The biggest farmers
If
around.
you count, no, but if you count fields,
Oh yeah.
I've got the smallest acreage, but the largest number of fields.
Smallest acreage but not large number of fields. So how many fields do you have?
I've got about 45.
45, and you created them all.
Yeah, basically everything had been destroyed, and here we had it was like a 3-acre field that had nothing on it at all. It was just a desert, I mean, they grew maize and wheat, but for me it was just a desert. And
It's so arid, isn't it? You know,
and when you see they grow crops, but after you buy it, for us, just the first year a bit of stuff grew, and then that was just the rest of the nitrogen fertilizer.
that was left behind from the previous farmer.
and then after that it just went down, and then after like 3 years I ended up with moss and ivy, and you realise that what they're growing is just nitrogen fertilizer, which is made from the gas industry. It's just gas. We're just aphids that eat gas. We're just every plastic
Modern food.
is modern food is just different colours, vaguely different tastes. Everything tastes the same, doesn't it,
Yeah.
these days? But and it's just gas and if you don't put the fertilizer on,
So they treat their fields nowadays
hydroponics.
just hydroponics, yeah. and
That's what they want. It's not necessarily poor farming for them. They don't want a living soil, because if you have any life, it's a potential competition. And so they want some substrate in which to grow stuff.
How hard is it then to turn a over-farmed, industrialised field into something that you can actually grow food in, quality food in years later? How difficult is that?
It's a big subject. It obviously depends what sort of, how it was farmed.
Yes.
My experience is probably going to really depress people, that after 17 years or something, I still think the soil is quite poor.
Wow. So, yeah, if we're doing that all around the world, we're literally damaging
We're
life.
destroying life, yeah. It's, in my opinion, if history looks back on us, that if there is a biggest criminal, it will be us. Because if you kill, we're not just killing the current generation, we're killing the next generation. potentially killing like 200 years of generation, of people. And that's, it's not going to be, we're not going to be the heroes of history, are we?
No, we're not. Well, you could be. What you're doing is so impressive, and it's not. You're not growing food. You're growing sufficiency and substance. Through growing these cereals and grains. That's the goal of it. It's not just to be able to grow a few cucumbers and
No,
tomatoes.
the idea is, what I wanted to know was if I could be a creature of my soil.
I love that. Yeah.
You look at the robin and you just feel jealous.
Yeah.
And then you just grow up thinking that you're like an electrical appliance. You need to be plugged in, to a sort of a septic tank and a sewage system and a nuclear power station and a hydroelectric plant.
Yes.
And a supermarket, and that's what fuels you.
And even like nowadays, like a gym. Going
gym,
to the gym. I
exactly.
spent many of hours and years going to the gym, and it was the only thing that made me feel human, because it sort of raised my heart rate up when I was living in modern cities. And at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I thought that was just what you do. And nowadays, now I grow my food and I get exercise, whilst I'm doing it,
Yeah.
or I go for a walk in the woodlands. I'm like, oh my God, what was I doing? Like a hamster in a wheel.
Yeah,
You can't even exercise naturally anymore.
And the hospitals,
Yeah.
and all the pharmaceutical drugs, they're all plugged in. And obviously, a few cucumbers is a good way to start. But if you've got a brain, you think it's, wouldn't it be beautiful if I could unplug all the plugs and still see if I'm going to be a sort of a living, breathing entity.
Yes.
The idea is to have a farm, a garden, a real, is where everything comes from the garden. As a human being, but really, your shoes, your clothes, your house, your food, your wood, your furniture, everything could come from that. To me, that's the garden. A garden's not just a sort of a shrub border,
No.
is it?
It's medicine,
It's medicine, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's potentially a first seed in the desert. And wouldn't it be beautiful if you had many seeds? First the seed and then the oasis, and then you could have, in my opinion, you could have life. What we've got today isn't life. It's robots plugged into what I've just talked about.
Yeah, we outsource everything, don't we?
And,
And not only that, I think growing food and living self-sufficiently, and even that, when I say self-sufficiently, I mean even just cooking for yourself nowadays is something that people don't do, and preserving and processing your harvests, and learn about the wild plants around you and the herbal remedies, and also the stories and wisdom that's locked within them. Actually, and listen to the birds and the sunset. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
You don't no longer have to outsource that.
No.
When you have a garden.
Exactly.
I chased after all the wrong things throughout my life, from like you mentioned, clubbing and going out drinking and partying. I thought that's what you had to do to live a fulfilled life in growing up in the city. And now what brings me joy is spending a whole day off on a Saturday picking food or sowing seeds or harvesting or processing food.
I think that people say about the birds. I lost all my crop, half my crop to the birds, and it's like I need to get that crop that I lost. And you think, yes, but you got free music. You got free music. Otherwise you could have got all the crop, sold it. Had to bought yourself a ticket to a concert.
Yes.
But obviously you grew the crop. You got a free music while you worked, so surely that was worth something.
Yeah, and they may have eaten all that crop but left another crop. So
Exactly.
yeah. What is this structure? Oh my word, this looks beautiful. Wow. What is this?
Rye straw.
Rye straw.
So that's the other thing when you
So when you grow your rye crop, you
You're
are
also
able
growing
to
your roof,
make a roof. Wow.
And that's the thing. They boast about getting super yields with their modern farming techniques, but we buy all our roof tiles or our slates, from somewhere else,
Yeah.
and you might get smaller. You might potentially get a smaller harvest of, using traditional techniques, But you also get the straw for crafts and straw hat.
Yeah. Did you make your hat?
Oh, my sister made the hat.
That's beautiful.
Getting a bit battered now, but this is rice straw as
That's
well.
incredible. Yeah, and then you have to pay someone to fit these modern roofs.
It's all the thing is, I fitted it. I'm just learning on thatch, and it kind of gradually sinks down the roof. So you need to give
Do you have to take it off and restart, or do you just go on top of with another layer constantly?
It's 6 years old, the building, and so far I'm just adding.
Oh wow!
But I think at some point I'm going to take it off, and that's going to be compost. And that's the thing. It's basically, it's just a compost reserve.
Yeah, that is.
And that to me is what wealth is, when you've got so much mulch and compost you can afford to roof with it.
No, that's amazing. I'm starting to feel guilty about my current living situation, living in a modern home that, doesn't just give back to the earth when it falls apart in a few hundred years' time. It would never fit into my compost pile, all the modern materials. So the more I'm looking into natural building, the more excited I am about creating like a living compost heap. Really.
Living compost heap, exactly. And,
what about your waste? Are you a complete cycle? A complete circle? Do you have a compost toilet, or what?
I have a compost toilet, but it's mainly for visitors.
Oh yeah.
I've got enough land to
just go anywhere.
Yeah, I dig a hole and go anywhere.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Do you grow your own toilet paper? Sorry, this is a bit personal.
No, but it's not actually. I think it's quite. I think it's funny. A lot of people ask me this, and it's amazing. That we spend how many years in school and stuff. I had some bloke coming round, and he was like in his 20s, and he said, what do you do for toilet? The interest in self-sufficiency. I thought, what do you do for toilet paper? And I thought, he got a good degree and everything, and he spent how many years in school? He still didn't know how to sort of wipe his bum, and we don't. That's the tragedy of it. We have to buy toilet paper.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But actually, and that's what some of my neighbours. And I was talking to my old neighbours, because toilets are just a recent thing. I had a whole conversation with them. It was like somebody said hazel leaves are really good, hazel tree leaves, and somebody else said, dock leaves are really good.
Mullein leaves.
Mullein leaves are like XXL sort of toilet paper.
Yeah, they're so soft.
Comfrey is actually not as spiky as what you'd think.
Oh, you reckon? Wow.
And but just a bit of grass.
Yeah.
It's surprising. It's one of these fake problems that we've created.
It is. But it's funny, I'm glad it was invented, because that was the first thing that ran out in the supermarkets during COVID that made me think maybe the food is next. So I went off and started growing my food. But yeah, I think our waste is been such an issue over the years, with modern cities. Like, that's what polluted the cities, because we built this concrete jungle where the waste didn't have anywhere to soak into.
Then it became toxic. And then we made it into an animal shed, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because that's what animal shed is. It's a high concentration of pigs or cows or something with super good waste disposal.
So you're saying that cities are like animal sheds?
Well, I'm just pointing it out to you.
It's true. When you can't get rid of your own waste in a way that doesn't just give it back to the earth, then I guess it is a...
and everything needs to be brought in.
Yeah.
They've got, the supermarkets are like the food dispensers and everything, and then everything's taken out. It's a very efficient animal shed, isn't it?
Oh gosh, no, that's it's like a episode of Black Mirror. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's that is a bit weird. So this is the tool shed.
Yeah, it's more or less a tool shed.
And you make these baskets yourself?
Yeah, that's a winter activity.
Is that because there's just not much to do out on the land in the winter time?
There's more time, but the nights are longer.
Right.
I like to make, I make a basket by candlelight. Something
beautiful.
Something you can do in semi-dark.
I guess that's what you do when you don't have Netflix and other stupid TV programs.
In my little house, I've got no electric, so it's good. It's once I go down there, I can't look at Netflix or social media.
No, that's great.
I have to just calm down and make a basket.
But how prideful and purposeful must you feel once you create something like this? This is a work of art.
Even after 2 or 3 years, if it rots, you're not stressed out.
No.
You put it on the compost and you make another one. You basically know where it came from. That's the joy of it.
Oh. So what's a typical day in the life for you in the middle of summer?
It's been busy this
Yeah.
summer because it's summer, everyone's on holiday, so people want to bother me, but still.
So
It-
people have been coming to do courses with you and stuff?
Yeah, I've got a regular, this is a field I've been doing once a month
Nice.
with 4 students.
And do you enjoy teaching?
It's sharing is
Yes.
one of the most, one of the most enjoyable things, isn't it?
I can tell that just from the passion that you, how you talk about everything you're doing. I think you're a good teacher as well.
Just doing stuff for yourself, like with cooking, I bet, you can cook a dish, but when you can, share it with somebody and see
Yeah.
their reaction, that's, more pleasure probably than just eating it yourself.
That's true. That is true. That's what got me into cooking in the first place. It was seeing the delight on my parents' faces. I'm assuming you don't water.
Very, very little water.
Wow, that's brilliant.
I mean, we've got springs on the land.
Wow,
We've got like 3 or 4 springs.
that's good.
Lots of springs in Brittany, probably the same as in Wales. Lots of springs and lots of sacred. A lot of mystery and
Well, it's,
around the springs.
yeah,
But-
well, it's a pagan sort of spiritual place, wasn't it? Lots of the churches were actually built on
Yeah,
sites where there were springs and ancient oak trees and things like that.
yeah. And you've seen lots of springs and
Beautiful potatoes.
yeah, every traditional hamlet was obviously built around a spring. This is why I think it's
So you've got springs on your land?
yeah.
Wow.
I'll take you down to one.
That's
if
beautiful.
we get down, but yeah, we've got 5, I think, on our land.
Wow. So you're
Which-
self-sufficient in water too, I guess?
Well, we've got both. My dad
Yes.
hooked up the house with mains water at the beginning.
yes.
So the springs aren't actually hooked up to, but down here I had to collect it in buckets from the.
And is it drinkable? JT?
I drink it, yeah.
Nice.
I haven't had it. I'll get it tested one of
Yeah.
these days. But
I'll
I
give it a
wanted
go.
to drink it before I tested it, and I've been drinking it for a couple of years. It's
Nice.
actually really nice taste, but I mean, they told me that that's where they used to drink from in the
Nice.
past.
And you haven't been growing like an extra toe or something like that since drinking it?
Funny you should mention that. But I found my
That's why you got
clogs
the
quite
clogs on.
small recently. Yeah, had to invest in a larger pair of clogs.
These potatoes are absolutely beautiful. And this is lunch.
This is lunch.
Wow.
Yeah. Potato and pickle. So,
Nice. It's like digging for gold.
Potato digging is digging for gold.
I'm glad it was time for lunch because Samuel had told me that he had a big afternoon of hard work in store for me later on. We sat down with Samuel's family, washing and peeling up the freshly harvested potatoes. Samuel's dad Gareth lit the fire, and the family do this every day, spending quality time together, connecting and enjoying the harvest around the open flames. Samuel simply chopped the potatoes and added them to the pot with water and placed them over the fire to bubble away. Also on the menu was fired potato onions. These are onions like I've never had before, simply burnt over the flames, and the flesh inside gets all smoky and caramelized.
Can't really make much noise.
No. So this is the famous cider. Wow, the colour is amazing. So what apples are these?
It's just
It's
a
a blend.
mixture. It's a regular, like the bitter sour apples. Let's go cheers and
Cheers.
cheers.
What do you say in
Yakida.
French?
Oh, but in Breton it's Yached Mad.
Yached Mad, so Yakida in Welsh, very similar.
Yeah,
Wow.
And Yached is health and Mad is good. And
Smells amazing.
it's got a good authentic sour taste.
Now that is absolutely beautiful. This is actually probably the nicest cider I've ever tasted, and I'm not just saying that. I really do think
That
this
just
is
is good
beautiful.
taste because it's probably the best, most authentic cider that you've ever had either as well.
That's
So
true. Have you ever thought about selling it?
what would I put as the price? No, I think it's more.
It is priceless.
It's more.
I could just imagine your beautiful artwork on a bottle like this.
It's more interesting to inspire people to make it.
Mm.
That's
Share it with interesting people.
Yeah, and I think there's so many So much
Do you want to try the potatoes?
a fruit tree, an apple tree is so abundant, isn't it? They often just fall to the ground and get forgotten about. I
Some
mean,
of these things that if I sold it, I'd have to have a bigger orchard.
right.
And then we'd be back in the world of monoculture, wouldn't we?
Yes, yeah.
It'd be one big orchard and a lot of pigs in sheds buying it. And and my idea is that everybody, should have a little orchard. It's a human right to have a bit of land, have a bit of an orchard.
It's true.
And then you've got, the countryside littered with small, beautiful little orchards, surrounded by other things, not just, here we grow all the apples for everybody,
It is going to my head, though.
No.
So I've only had 3.
No,
but I'm a light.
no.
I rarely drink alcohol,
No,
So-
not with half a glass. Come on, Gaz.
and I had a very small breakfast.
Okay, well,
Maybe I need a few potatoes. Now.
I think you need a few potatoes.
It's delicious.
That'd be good, and Gaz gets drunk on half a glass. He's going to be rolling.
not a true Welshman,
He's going to
am I?
be rolling home
I'm
tonight.
not a true Welshman. That is unbelievable.
I've got to take these off. It's just...
Wow. I don't know. It could be the residual taste of the cider on my tongue with this apple, with this onion. It's so sweet.
No, it's like caramelised,
Oh my word. Samuel, you have like a very comedic sense to you, like a delivery of your words. You could be a stand-up comedian. Has anyone ever told you that before?
Strange twist of fate with Nick. I used to hate clowns, but I did wonder if maybe I could...
You could have a future in comedy if all else fails on the land.
Comedians aren't quite as bad as clowns. Well,
No.
they don't wear the terrible noses.
It's hot, but it's good. Okay, so we're going to get everything we need. Well, 1, 2.
Wooden bowls, beautiful.
Hand turned, you should note.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was my COVID project. Well, I got started before, but then COVID
What is
hit.
it?
This is mainly beech. Everything
Beech.
we've got. Beech is the really the traditional clog making. It's traditional for clogs as well. The Breton did a lot in beech.
Right.
For 5, so that's good. The next project's a ladle for the.
This is just amazing. Samuel's made this with his bare hands.
And
And your basket.
this is for the knives and forks. We'll just stick the whole thing out. So the wooden spoons are the next step, but they're not quite there yet. Okay, we've got the salt out there,
Nice.
and
Just like me, Samuel has a fermentation station packed full of jars with the taste of yesterday. He utilises lacto-fermentation to preserve his harvest for throughout the year. And I got to sample some of these treats with lunch today, plus Samuel's homegrown, homemade artisan rye bread.
Oh, your bread looks beautiful.
On the menu was a tangy carrot, cabbage, earthy beetroot and sweet corn ferment, each one with the freshest vibrant flavour. I was in fermentation heaven.
Is it really?
Gosh, this is my heaven actually, because I love fermented foods. I can't have a meal without fermented foods. So
Well,
now
you've
you've
come
just
to
given me
heaven.
a spread of 4
you've come to heaven.
and
because,
fresh potatoes.
It's down, isn't it?
I'm a bit. I think of myself a bit of a ferment connoisseur nowadays. These are really good.
I'm just completely mad about ferments.
Yeah, me
I'm just-
too.
the taste.
You're gonna like my book then. We'll
I'm going to like it.
we'll
I'm
trade
We're going to get
books.
some ideas.
The lunch was absolutely delicious and the company was even better. And I needed that lunch because it was now time to grab some hose and get on with the first of the hard work that Samuel had in store for me. We headed out to one of his mini fields, which had just grown wheat, to learn how to handle a hoe.
All right, so hoeing.
So I just want just to give you, to me the beauty of the hoe is that it teaches you itself.
Okay.
So it's not like the size where you have to really technical details. It just to be a good, to be comfortable with the hoe you hoe.
And what's the aim of the game? It's to loosen that top layer of weeds and just aerate the soil beneath.
Yeah, it's to aerate the soil and weed control.
Okay.
And with the hoe, it's not like the plough. It's like you don't get the final result with the first work. You're not just going to hoe it and plant carrots the next day.
Okay.
If you're going to do carrots, you do it like 3 months in advance. You hoe it and then you hoe it again
Right.
2 months later.
I see.
Because what we're basically doing, the idea is that everything should be worked. If you leave a little space, that's where the docks and the grass will get established.
How deep are we going down?
Just as deep as the roots.
Okay.
And seeing the roots aren't deep, don't worry. This depth is absolutely fine.
Okay.
The important thing is that you've got air in the soil where the seed is going to sprout.
Right. Now, on big farms, even 100 years ago, they would have had a horse doing this for them, right?
Yeah.
Or pulling along a
That's
plough.
because they were trying to feed more people than
Yeah.
themselves. Same as the tractor today. It was basically the concept of an urban population that should have been helping you, but most invariably weren't.
Yeah.
They were just sitting around getting fat and, being obnoxious. And you were
enslaved
slaving away feeding them.
Right, yeah.
And the question is why? Because you were a coward and you didn't want to fight for your freedom. And in my opinion, and one of the reasons why I don't want to grow crops for people is that I think it's every human being should have the chance to love their soil. How can you deprive a human being of that love in their life? Because it's who we are. I just find it hard to imagine being alive and not having the joy of working with the soil.
Well, I certainly couldn't think of a life now without being connected to the land and growing food. It's given me a future, it's given me a purpose for the future, to do this stuff.
And it's a feeling, isn't it, of loving and being loved.
Yeah.
I think we're all, we've boiled down love, haven't we, to a very Hollywood-esque sort of black and white thing, haven't we, of a couple. But I think on a farm, you're just getting love, aren't you, from all over.
It's true.
I think farming is like, it's a love affair, and the answer isn't in words. It's just, it's like, yes, and, I will let you live.
Sam, you seem quite, it's quite spiritual for you then, this work. Are you religious?
It's a funny question, the religion, because I think that as a farmer, I think as a farmer, as a human being, tilling the land, I understand that I'm not the boss. And I think what's the boss for me is the things that allow my survival. It's the sun. I'm not a pagan, particularly, but I know that what's essential to me is the sun and the rain, and the earth on which I'm on. And it's maybe not the absolute power, but it is the power that makes me alive. And so I think if I can't have humility towards that power, I'm lost. And so, maybe there might be some other creature in the universe that has another power that keeps them alive.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to know what it is that powers you. If you can't respect that and understand it and say you are more powerful and I will adapt to you, then you've got no chance,
That's a great answer. Well, I don't need to go to the gym today. It's hard work. It's fun though.
This soil's actually become really good. This is you're asking me how long the soil regenerates, and actually this soil, a couple of years ago, I said to my dad, this soil's changed and it's become light.
Right.
Yeah, I can still see you're a bit stiff with your hoe, which is absolutely fine because you're going to loosen up over time.
I think I need to become at one with the hoe.
But I can see that I'm just sort of waggling my body. I'm sort of doing a tango with my hoe. And I think more or less I'm...
You have to use your hips, I think.
And I can feel that I'm really, moving a lot more.
Yeah.
But,
It's all the cider in you, it's loosening you up.
it's not. It's just, it's like dancing. You just, over time, you just get the feel of it. You can talk at the same time.
Yeah.
Me and my dad, we tend to talk current affairs.
Nice.
He reads more news than me, so I can catch up. History, current affairs, politics.
I mean, it's a beautiful way to bond with your family.
Yeah.
We're so distant nowadays, families, you know.
Yeah, and after a day's hoeing, it's just pure meditation.
I think it is because it just takes your mind off elsewhere, right? Well, I've done about 4 meters.
You know how long we've been doing it for? 2 or 3 minutes?
Yeah.
We've got, you know, it's not a derisory amount, and we've been talking all the time as well and stopping. We've been 2 lazy sods, haven't we? And look, we've even done all that.
I enjoyed it.
Of course you were going to enjoy it. That's your first hoe, you know.
After my first and most successful experience with a hoe, it was time to get on with the next job, and Samuel this time had upped the ante and armed me with a scythe. I've only ever had one experience using a scythe before, and after a quick tutorial on how to sharpen the blade using the traditional hammer and anvil, which Sam described as the sound of the countryside, it was time to head to another field to collect some all-important mulch.
It's like all tools. You're not going to be good the first time. If you've done it once before, you'll be better than you were last time.
Yeah.
And the joy is, even by doing a bad job today, you'll be even better. You will have actually improved for next time. How's it going there, Gaz? Are you loving it?
I'm actually finding it very therapeutic. It's nice to be able to hear the birds as we cut the grass and not a motor like when I cut the grass.
I know, and if you've got a snake or a frog, it's got a chance of escaping, isn't it?
True, yeah, but if I see a snake or a frog, I'm running because they're my 2 biggest fears.
Really?
Yeah.
Frogs?
I'm not much of a nature man yet.
Yeah, I think you're getting a good, when you're putting a lot of energy into it, so you're going to tire quick.
Yeah, I am.
But the important thing is that if you're doing a good job, you're getting mulch.
Oh, you tidying up my work?
Not really, left a little bit here.
It's very satisfying.
And that is a workout, isn't it?
It really is.
I actually find sizing more tiring than sowing.
Wow.
And here we get to the top of the hill, you know, so you get a nice view as well.
Yeah, it's nice looking back over your work as well.
Yeah.
You see all the bits where you missed.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a fanatic, you can just go and...
Is it best to do this when it's a little wet?
That's what everybody says.
In the morning or something?
That's what everybody says.
Right.
I'm just... I'm bad. I've got a rhythm where I work in the afternoon.
Yes.
So
yeah.
But in Brittany it tends to rain, so the grass is often a bit wet. And then, you know, if you go up with your flagon of cider, by the time you get the field and you can you put it under the hedgerow and you can
Nice.
lie on the bank and drink your cider and watch the birds, and you know that if you have a visitor, they're never going to find you.
So you do courses here and you sell books?
Yeah, so basically 6 years ago I started with my dad. We started doing books because he writes and I draw, and we wrote a book. He wrote a book and I illustrated it. My sister illustrated it, and then I've done a couple of cartoon books which are like silent,
Nice.
without any text, explaining how I basically documenting what we did on this field and how we brought life back to the land. And you know, self-printed them, printed them ourselves on an office printer and bind them, and just started selling them in the local shops. You know, I printed 10 copies of the first book.
Wow.
And you know, it's still slow, but I'm actually, you know, I'm now, you know, got a map where I colour in the countries where I've
Well,
sold
you sent
it
one to me in Wales.
I know, but I've sent one. I've even sent one to the United Arab Emirates,
Really?
and to Singapore,
Wow.
you know, New Zealand, Australia, and, you know, Brazil. Thought a few in Brazil,
Wow, that's brilliant.
and all the European countries. And so actually, you know, started from a very tiny base. It's still quite small, but I've actually, you know, I've had a bit of success. And the idea is it's just a way of sharing my experience, what I've done with other people. And the idea is you can't really teach people stuff, but for me, what inspired me was when I came across other people who've done the same thing, gone through the same battle as me, and I thought, wow, I'm not alone. And I think that's what I'd like to do, is just say, here's someone else out here that feels something needs to be done, you know, and it strikes a chord with them, and maybe people get a few ideas.
Yeah.
But anyway, and the people who like the books, the idea that if people like the books, to see how we work, you know, the size, the hoe, and what I wanted, you know, what I've started doing is training courses which are free. I'm trying to very innovative model of a free training course.
It's very generous of you, because you've got such a wealth of knowledge, and you know you've learned it over the years, which takes a lot of time and dedication. To offer it for free is amazing.
I just think a
Very
real
grateful.
teacher offers his knowledge for free, because you're a master at your craft. You know, by definition, you have spare time. You know, you have, it's worked. For me, you know, if I had to, you know, it's the fact that it's the proof that my farming works a little bit, that I can say, okay, I've got some free time and I want to share this with other people, because I know that together we're stronger. And so it's generous, but it's also cunning, because if I'm successful, I'm going to be even stronger. It's an investment,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
I'm going to be richer and stronger, richer in knowledge and and
Community.
yeah. For me, wealth, money is poverty. When we started, you know, this is wealth. And I
Yes.
think the peasants, they always pretended life was hard because they didn't want anybody to know. But this is, you know, to me, this is, you know, how could you possibly put a price on fresh air?
I'm beginning to enjoy the fruits of your labour as well.
Exactly.
You know, just sat around by the fire earlier, having the potatoes, something peasant food, really,
I
isn't
know.
it? And it's preserved food, but with family around the fire is like people don't have the time in the modern world just to do that.
You never have the time, even to have a pee or something. It's funny, I realize this, you know, I'm just always rushing,
Yes.
always rushing. And every technology is always to save time, but nobody's got any time.
No.
And I always feel stressed. But I think as well as
do?
that, well, tradition, you know, I do really. I feel like a sort of, I have to try and get out of this sort of thing of, you know, in their world I feel stressed.
Yes, I understand.
When I'm out here, it's another world, you
Yes,
know. But
yeah.
as soon as I get in the car or I'm driving somewhere, I look at the watch, time, you know, doing the computer. But you know that you're paying for everything. This is a problem.
Yeah.
Every second you're on, you know, you're on the internet. You're paying. You're always paying, and that's what makes you feel stressed out. You're having a shower. Where does the water come from? You're paying. You're reading a book. The lights on. You're paying. You know, and that's why you can't just enjoy. And you know, for me, you've sided the field. You've got your cider. You lie on the bank. You're not stressed because, you know, you're not paying anything. You've done the work, and now you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's so true. Thank you.
So
It's a pitchfork.
Yeah, this is the pitchfork. But you
Is
get
that one
the,
mine over there?
Yeah, that's normally mine. This is my dad's, but
Okay.
I'm giving you the big one this time because we want to have a good laugh when you. So follow me.
The final task was to collect some hay which Sam previously cut with his scythe to scatter over the freshly hoed bed. Sounds easy, right?
Obviously, I've got. See, my
You've
barrow
got
is like,
sides on yours.
mine's like a building barrow, you know. It's great for transporting stones and stuff, but it's rubbish for transporting hay because you can't get anything in it. Whereas your barrow is like a proper barrow for, you know, it's rubbish for stones because it doesn't have a very good weight distribution. But you can carry huge. It's quite good for wood. Great for faggots, and But when hay's like this, it's just so light, you know. This is
Yeah.
the advantage of getting it dry.
What will you be doing with this hay now?
Mulch.
Mulch, yeah.
We'll be putting it on the field.
I don't think I'm going to be able to move this now.
No, but that's because spent too much time going to the gym. You've just got no strength.
No farm strength.
No farm strength, no, it's just all fleshy muscle.
I'm intrigued to see you move this. Where's your handles?
I know, this is the funny thing, where are my handles? Here I am. So the idea is you peg it nicely with your fork, pop the fork under your arm.
I think your handles are the other side.
No, but
No?
they're not, because I want them to be. And then we're going to do a U-turn. But I want to drag this because it's much, much better to drag. So you're in the right position. So you do the same thing, and then pop it. You're basically a bit worried that your stuff's
A bit lopsided.
a bit lopsided, so we can still correct it. Yeah, and peg it here.
From that side.
No,
Oh.
just on the, like that, yeah. And then pop that under the arm. And you are good to travel 1,000 miles.
This is the best workout I've ever had.
Oh, my gate.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You want us to go around here?
Yeah, I want to go through that gap, yeah.
I don't think I'm going to fit my load through.
I'm thinking if you just pull, I mean, it's a good point, but I think, come on, go for it. It's a tight corner, but hang on a second.
My barrow won't go through,
Yeah,
will it?
because you didn't do it.
Yeah.
You didn't do a wide enough. You didn't do a wide enough spin, but there you go. There's plenty of space. After all that preaching, I leave my whole load in the gap, but that's because I've got no back on my barrow. Yeah, there I go. Lost half my load, but I should have pushed it for this one.
I'm going to give you 3 points on your licence.
I've lost 3 points in my licence. Oh no, I seem to be dragging it all the same.
Do you sort of spread it?
Yeah, now we just fluff it out over the field.
I can see why you could get through a litre of cider a day. You need the hydration.
Every machine needs its fuel.
Yeah. Cider and rye bread.
Yeah. But that's what's so beautiful, that it's a virtuous cycle, because the more you barrow, the more hungry you are, the more bread you eat. You know, the more rye you can plant, the more poppies you've got in your cereals, the more birds you've got in your cereal field, the bigger ecosystem you've got,
Yeah.
the more apple trees you can plant. It's actually consuming. It doesn't have to be bad.
Yes.
What a great message.
It's a beautiful cycle that you've inserted yourself in, or you've
Yeah.
created.
Exactly. And it's not like the more I consume, the bigger mine I have to have, you know, to
Yeah.
get my rare minerals, earth, and the bigger oil drill I need to have. It's basically the bigger rye field I have, and everyone wins, you know.
Yeah.
Nature applauds and says Samuel was hungry, and we get lots of food too. And that's, I call it, you know, packing a nice blanket on the grass for the winter.
Yeah. Putting the beds to sleep.
Yeah. Particularly after we've hoed it there, it's going to be next spring, you're well in.
So we ready for a drink now? We finished for the day.
As far as work goes, we're finished, yeah.
Oh.
We're, I think, you did well on your barrow test.
That was the best part of the day. I mean, I think I'd excelled then at the driving of the barrow.
You did good on the sizing too. I thought it was
Yeah, I've got to work on I think I could do a bit of salsa, and by then, if I do salsa, my sithing would improve. And
Definitely.
also, if I scythe more, my salsa will improve.
Well, I'm a
so-
dancer. I like Breton dancing.
Oh, okay.
So,
I've not seen that before, so maybe you could, after a couple of ciders, you can give us a show.
that's the main thing of Breton culture that survived,
Dancing.
is the Breton dancing.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And they call them fest-nozzers.
Oh, now I feel like I've earned a drink.
Yeah, you found the answer there, yeah. A little bit.
But I will say,
A little drink.
yeah, a little drink, because you know what, you don't want to see me dancing.
Hey, just a little bit of work. That's
yeah, I
why
did
you
a
get
little bit of work.
drink.
But also, I just feel like even though, I mean, I can't call it work, it was so fun. It feels rewarding doing what we just did. So I'm very grateful for this experience. Thank you. Wow. Is this
This is still fizzy, but
fizzy yet? Yakida.
Yakida. Tastes good.
Oh. Yes, this is the life. So, if people want to find you, if they want to learn from you, I guess best bet is to grab a copy of your book. You've got a copy there.
Yeah, I've got a copy.
Sorry to make you get up.
Yeah, but I've still got some energy. I haven't done a lot of work today, don't you worry. But yeah, I've got. But I'm gonna. That's.
Yes, this is the one I've got.
It is the box.
Oh, you've got 3.
Yeah, because I've been working, and the thing is.
I can highly recommend this one. It's a sort of beginner's guide to hoe farming, really, isn't it?
It's an introduction
Yeah.
to 21st century hoe farming. Yeah.
And your illustrations are absolutely beautiful. And what's the name of your character? Is it you?
It's me.
Yeah.
It's Tim the gardener. I created him when I was 17, but I didn't have a beard or anything. But, he kind of became me, and I became him.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And but the nice thing is, he doesn't do anything I don't do. And so it's not a fantasy. It's not a fantasy fiction. It's you know, you see the bloke doing it, and you think somebody's really doing this. And if I'm interested, you know, if you're really interested, you can dig him out. He's still alive. And to me, that's what's interesting, really.
So I'm going to pop a link beneath this video for you to get a copy of these books. And thank you so much for giving me a day in the life. Honestly, it's one I will never forget, and I will be back. If
You'll
you
be back for a week next
I
time.
will,
yeah.
a week, yeah. I'll bring the baby,
Yeah.
bring my partner Tegan. We'll camp out in the field.
And bring
and
your
we'll-
drone. Bring your drone.
The drone, and we'll work hard and repay what an experience I've had today. It's been amazing.
Right.
Thank you. Cheers. So I'm back in Wales, and it's actually been quite a few months since that trip to France and to Samuel and his family's place in Brittany and to visit the farm. And reflecting on that day and editing the footage together and listening to everything Samuel said, I hope you will agree after watching the video. He is an incredible person with so much knowledge to share. And I feel so grateful to have been welcomed so like we were on that day. And I cannot wait to go back this year and spend more time with the family and learn, because since that day, Samuel and I have talked quite a lot, and I've read through the books that him and his family have produced, and he almost feels like a mentor to me now, and a mentor that I was desperately actually looking for. Since leaving cities, having lived there all my life, and moving out to the country to start trying to be a little bit more self-sufficient, I've come across some amazing people, and I've learned a lot along the way, but I don't think anyone quite like Samuel. And his dad's book and the book that they worked on together has been really impactful. And it's knowledge that I've needed and knowledge that I've wanted to learn and understand for so long. And I can't wait to put it into practice. I already have, in fact. If you've watched recent videos, you would have seen me outside with my hoe and mulching, and
it's actually not just though the actual techniques, it's more the philosophy and the connection. And that's what I found so captivating and so beautiful about Samuel and everything he had to say and his way of life. It's all about connection to the land. And that, I feel, is what's missing in so much of society nowadays. Certainly it was missing from my life for so long. Not having a connection to the land means that you're almost just blowing in the wind, and you treat nature and with sort of impunity. You're not governed by the laws of nature. And the way Sam works and his family works and the way he thinks is all about, is it going to improve the harmony around him, from the plants to the animals to just the ecology and his family. And I want that lifestyle for myself too. I want to be growing cereals to sustain us throughout the winter, growing then the roof for my home and the building materials for the home, and you know, making preserves and bowls and baskets and hats, you know, with natural materials. I want to shun the sort of more man-made synthetic materials wherever possible, to look for a more natural alternative that will just inevitably in a few years' time just break down and add to the soil and only be a positive impact on the land around me. So I just want to say, I hope you enjoyed the video. A heartfelt thank you to Samuel and his family for welcoming us so well. And I cannot wait to be back, and I cannot wait to hopefully make more content with Samuel for you to see more about the way they work. And Samuel and his family are just such a beacon of light in this world which often isn't so positive and is so sort of disruptive to the harmony of our environment. So I'm just so in awe and so thankful that I was able to be there that day and share his work through this video. There was so much good stuff that I couldn't actually put in the video because I just didn't have enough content to overlay and to film it, so to fill it. So that's partly why I want to go back as well. And yeah, just please get this book. You need to read it. It's real deep dive into his way of life, their way of life, and also just a look back on history and where it all went wrong, and almost like how we become so detached from the land, and how reconnecting to the land is an antidote to globalization. And that's what this book is all about. So please check out the book. I'll pop a link to it beneath this video. And if you want to support the channel and keep us alive so we can keep creating stories like the one today, please think about getting a copy of my book full of delicious recipes and homesteading hacks from my website. It means we can keep making these videos. Thanks again to Samuel and his family, and thank you to you guys for staying to the end and watching this video. Please comment if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you soon in a new episode. Bye-bye.